Good evening guys, Damien Jones here again for you today, and today I thought we'd take a little look at these two Rolex homage watches which I recently bought and what I've recently been wearing. One of them is very nice and I'm really getting along well with it, and that's the Parnis GMT. It's a gorgeous watch, not too expensive either. It's made in Japan, I believe. It's a dead copy of a Rolex Submariner. Actually, I think it's a Rolex Submariner 2. Automatic movement, GMT, lovely magnified date on it. Clicking bezel, which is marvellous, and it's water resistant, I believe, to 30 meters. And over here on the left we have another Submariner homage watch, called by a company called the Military Royale, which copies the more traditional Submariner with the pearl pip on the top of the bezel. We'll take a look at the real thing in a minute on the computer, and then we'll compare. As I say, this has got a nice clicking bezel as well, which is very nice. I mean, overall it's not a bad watch, but there are a few issues in quality that I wanted to point out to people if you're thinking of buying a Rolex homage watch. Now, okay, we'll take a look on the computer over here. Bear with me. The weather outside is terrible, and so is the internet reception. Okay, here on the computer you can see an actual Rolex Submariner, and if we take a look down here and compare my Parnis GMT to it, it's been pretty much copied completely in the design. Obviously it's got Parnis's name on there, should my camera wish to focus. Come on, focus, you bugger. Is it going to for me? The perils of doing YouTube videos on your mobile, eh? Well, anyway, that's the genuine Rolex Submariner with the ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, and the GMT function on, which is very nice. This is the plain black variant, again with the ceramic bezel, and this is the Submariner 2 with a green bezel, which is more like my actual copy, and again this has the aluminium bezel. If we take a look at the Military Royale watch down here, you'll see that, if we will focus, there we go, you'll see that it is pretty much an exact case copy and everything. I think we'll go over this one first, because I have a few issues with it. I've been wearing the Parnis GMT over here for about, when did it come? About three days ago or so, and it's keeping good time, and you know, it's keeping good time for me, and it's working out well, and it's waterproof, and you know, I've had absolutely no problems with it. But this copy of the Submariner 2 by Military Royale, I've got a few issues with it. We'll go over them in a minute. But the first problem is, I mean, this is supposed to be waterproof too, and I've only had this one day, and already, I mean, it's dried out now, it appears to have done anyway, but it fogged up on me, and I wasn't very happy with it. I mean, I basically, what I own is one of these, okay, with the green aluminium bezel on it, which is nicknamed the Hulk bezel because it's green. Other two types of Rolexes, bezel nicknames, is the Pepsi bezel, which is for obvious reasons because it's blue and red, and the Batman bezel, which is black and blue. Okay, so Hulk, Pepsi, Batman. So we'll just move the Parnis GMT out the way and take a look at the Military Royale, and I'll go over it with you. Now, the casing is really quite nicely made. The watch itself, other than its dubious water resistancy, it is actually, other than that, it is actually a good watch, and I will probably be keeping it rather than binning it. You know, should I ever wish to wear that colour bezel on my wrist, you know, as opposed to paying £10,000 for an actual Rolex. The back is that type of sealed, you know, sealed back, which is just like Rolex. It's a good case. It feels right, but as I say, the problem I've got with it is its water resistancy. It's got lovely coin edged bezel. The magnifier on the date isn't too bad, I have to say. It's not too bad, although if you tilt it up you can see the little bit underneath. You know, it's nicely designed. The lume pips on it are quite small as compared to a real Submariner 2. It's got the nice Mercedes hour hand. As you can see, it sweeps as well, which is nice. But the other main problem, other than its dubious water resistancy, that I had with this watch was the terrible bracelet that it come with. It feels hollow, it feels cheap, it feels nasty. I mean, as you can see there, it's not finished properly on the edges, if you can see that. It rattles. I mean, and just look at that there, just look at the clasp, how they've tried to follow the links on there. I mean, it really is appalling, isn't it? Also, the other problem I had with it was this part of the clasp fastening, which opens. The little pin that holds it in position keeps sliding out, and this is in fear of actually falling off. And that's only with owning this timepiece for, you know, I only got this today, you know. It's all, I will keep it though, but obviously I'll be keeping it away from water because I don't trust it near water. It cost me £20, $21.99 off eBay, and you know, for the money, will you focus? Thank you. For the money, it's not a bad Rolex homage watch, but you know, in the same light, it is the worst. Well, it's not the worst Rolex homage I've come across. The worst Rolex the Rolex style watch I come across was that really cheap, nasty Rolex Submariner, which I bought off DH Gate for £10. This watch cost double that price, and it's still working at the moment, but with my constant perspiration, is it going to fog up again? I don't know. But for £20, you know, to achieve the look, this Military Royale Submariner 2 homage watch, it ain't too bad. Marks out of 10 that I'd give this watch. I would have given it 8 out of 10. Obviously I'm gonna have to replace the bracelet because that won't last 5 minutes with me. I'm gonna replace the bracelet, which is a pain, isn't it? But you know, I think it's worth doing. So other than the bracelets and the dubious water resistancy of the piece, I would have to give this watch, I'll be honest, I'd give it 6 out of 10. It's a piece of shit, really. It's slightly better than a fake Rolex, put it that way, but only just. Okay, so that's the Military Royale self-winding rotor watch, which is basically a Rolex Submariner 2 copy. Moving on. This, on the other hand, I absolutely love. I mean, it feels like a Rolex. It's nice and weighty. The brushed steel is nicely done. The polished casing is lovely. It's got this really nice deployment clasp which has the Parnis logo engraved onto it, and it releases nice and quickly. It's got nice screw detail on it, and it's easily adjustable, and as I say, the strap on this watch is of good quality, and the casing is even better, to be quite honest with you, than my Rolex. I'll be honest with you, it's got a genuine, what you're getting for your money here is you're getting a genuine ceramic bezel, as opposed to the usual aluminium type which appears to be common with Rolex homage watches. It's a lovely bezel, it really is. It's got this half coin edge to it. It's really nice. It really is a nice watch. It's got a good quality bracelet. It doesn't rattle like a cheap piece of crap, and it like the Military Royale, it's keeping excellent time at present. It's got a much better magnified date on it. If you can see the difference here, the magnifier is a lot smaller and less effective here on the Military Royale than it is on the Parnis GMT, which is far more effective. And it's just a really nice looking watch as well. Also, I have to say, I really like the fact that they've made it slightly larger as well. Slightly larger. And, you know, as I say, I've been wearing this now for about 3 days. I haven't had any problems with it. I've been in water with it loads, and it's still keeping good time. It's not fogging up. and it's a marvellous watch. Now, as you can see here, what I'm talking about with the clasp on this, as you see it's coming out, very cheap, very nasty. It's actually come off, and it's been doing that all day on the Military Royale. So, you know, if you do get one of these Military Royales, be prepared, you know, you're going to have to replace the bracelets on it, because it is piss poor quality. It really is piss poor quality bracelet. And so far as well, although the watch itself is keeping good time, its water resistance is dubious. Whereas with the Parnis GMT, so far so good. It's very, very good. I'm very, very pleased with the watch. It's got a much better feel to it than this one. So anyway, let's discuss prices. Look at that broken. It's terrible, isn't it? Fortunately, I've got another one that I can replace it with. But the Military Royale, which I only give 6 out of 10 overall. If you want one of these watches, you can get one off eBay for about £21 free delivery. So I mean, for the price, it's not a bad looking timepiece, but for functionality, it is dubious. I will say buyer beware. I would much rather save my money and see if you can get a good deal on the Parnis GMT, like what I did. I mean, these watches tend to retail for about £85 here in Britain. I managed to get mine for half price, so I am very, very pleased with this watch, and I'm going to give it, do you know what, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Well, do you know what, I'm being ruthless. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this watch whatsoever. I would much rather, you know, I'd much rather pay 40 quid for it, or for anyone else that can't find it for that price, you know, for £80 or thereabouts, you know, it's worth the money. It's worth the money. I mean, I wouldn't risk going diving in it. It's only 30 meters, you know, although it looks like a diver's watch, you know, it isn't, so I wouldn't trust it at any great pressure. But yeah, 10 out of 10. It's a nice looking watch, and I got it for a great price, and I'm really, really pleased with it. And I shall be replacing the strap on this one. But for now though, my name's Damien Jones. Thank you very much for watching my Rolex homage watch video, and I shall see you very soon on the next one. Cheerio for now.